You're not lazy and you're not failing, but somehow you still feel behind in life. You look around and it feels like everyone else is moving forward while you're standing still. Today, let's talk about why this feeling shows up, why it feels so real, and what you can actually do when it starts weighing on you. Most people don't wake up one morning and suddenly feel behind. This feeling grows quietly. You're living your life, waking up, going to work or managing your day, taking care of responsibilities, handling family matters, doing what needs to be done. Nothing feels completely wrong. But then something small happens. You open your phone, you attend a family function, you hear news about someone you know, and suddenly, without warning, a thought appears. How did everyone else move ahead so fast? You start replaying that thought in your head. You remember classmates who now seem successful. You think about friends who are married, settled, or earning well. You think about people younger than you who already seem to know what they want. And slowly your mind builds a story that says, I should be further ahead by now. The strange part is that your life might actually be okay. You may have a job, a routine, and stability. You may even be doing better than you were a few years ago. But comparison has a way of shrinking everything you've done. It makes progress invisible, it makes effort feel pointless, and it convinces you that everyone else got a secret instruction manual that you somehow missed. Social media plays a big role in this feeling. You scroll through photos and videos where people look happy, confident, and successful. Someone is traveling, someone bought a house, someone is celebrating an achievement. You don't see the stress behind those moments. You don't see the loans, the family pressure, the arguments, or the self-doubt. But your mind doesn't care about what's hidden. It only registers what's shown. And what's shown looks perfect. This comparison doesn't always come from social media alone. Sometimes it comes from everyday conversations. A relative asks, "What's next for you?" A friend casually mentions their promotion. Someone talks about their plans confidently. Even if they don't mean to make you feel small, you walk away feeling uncomfortable. You start explaining yourself in your head. You start justifying your choices. And suddenly you feel like you owe the world an answer for where you are in life. From a very young age, we are taught that life should move in a straight line. Study well, get a job, earn money, settle down, and be happy. When life doesn't follow this order, it feels like a mistake. But real life is messy. Some people take breaks. Some people change directions. Some people slow down because life demands it. Some people rush because they're afraid. But when you look at others, you only see the result, not the process. You never see the years when someone felt confused. You never see the nights they doubted their decisions. You don't see the pressure they're under to keep everything together. So their life looks smooth, while yours feels unfinished. But most lives are unfinished. They're just at different chapters. Age adds another layer to this feeling. There's a lot of unspoken pressure around where you should be by a certain age. By this age, you should earn this much. By that age, you should be settled. When you don't meet these expectations, it feels like you're late. But these timelines were created by society, not by real life. Everyone grows differently. Some people find their path early. Some people find it later. Some people find it, lose it, and find it again. Quiet phases of life are especially difficult. These are times when nothing major seems to happen. No big achievements, no celebrations, just days repeating themselves. During these phases, it's easy to think you're wasting time. But quiet phases are often when you're learning the most. You're understanding what you don't want anymore. You're becoming more aware of what drains you. You're slowly changing from the inside, even if nothing on the outside reflects that yet. Another reason you may feel behind is because you don't have a clear answer when people ask about your future. You might not know exactly where you're heading, and that can feel scary. But not knowing doesn't mean you're failing. Many people choose paths quickly just to avoid feeling confused. That doesn't always mean those paths are right for them. Taking time to think doesn't mean you're stuck. It means you're careful. We also misunderstand what it means to be ahead. We usually think it means earning more, achieving faster, or reaching milestones earlier. But many people who look successful feel exhausted, pressured, or empty. They may be carrying responsibilities they didn't fully choose. They may feel trapped by expectations. That part of life doesn't show up in photos or conversations. Now let's talk about what you can actually do when this feeling of being behind starts affecting you. The first thing that helps is noticing when comparison begins. Pay attention to moments when your mood suddenly drops. Is it after scrolling online? Is it after certain conversations? Once you notice the pattern, you can remind yourself that you're only seeing a small part of someone else's life, not the full picture. Another helpful step is to bring your focus back to your own timeline. Ask yourself simple questions. Am I more experienced than I was a year ago? Do I understand myself better now? Have I learned things the hard way that I didn't know before? Progress isn't only about visible achievements. It's also about growth that doesn't come with applause. Limiting constant comparison also helps. This doesn't mean deleting social media completely, but it does mean being mindful of how much you consume. If something consistently makes you feel inadequate, it's okay to step back. Protecting your mental peace is not weakness, it's self-care. Talking about this feeling also makes a difference. When you share these thoughts with someone you trust, you often realize you're not alone. Many people feel behind but hide it well. Hearing others talk honestly can make your own journey feel more normal. Another way to cope is by focusing on small, daily wins. Did you show up today even when you didn't feel motivated? Did you handle something better than you would have in the past? Did you learn something new, even if it's small? These things matter more than they seem. It also helps to stop rushing yourself. Life is not a race, even though it often feels like one. There's no prize for finishing early. There's no penalty for taking time. What matters is whether the life you're building makes sense to you, not whether it impresses others. If you ever feel stuck, remind yourself that feeling behind doesn't mean you're going backwards. It often means you're in between phases. And being in between is uncomfortable, but it's also where change begins. You are not broken because your life doesn't look like someone else's. You are not late because your journey is different. You are not failing because you're still figuring things out. You are simply human, living a life that doesn't follow a perfect script. If you're feeling behind right now, take a breath and remember this. You are learning. You are growing in ways you may not see yet. And this phase, just like all others, will change. If this feeling of being behind has been following you quietly, I hope this reminded you that you're not alone. Many people carry this feeling silently, and sometimes understanding why it exists is enough to loosen its grip. You don't need to rush your life. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. You're allowed to move at your own pace.